psychological literature on optimism is not about being bright and sunny or everything's positive. It's about, if something good is happening, is that my fault or someone else's fault? Is it permanent or temporary? And is it going to bleed into other areas of my life, or is it just this thing? Pessimism is the opposite. If something shit's happening, is that my fault or someone else's? Is it permanent or is it going to change? And is that just this, or is it a lot of things? Okay. And so when I'm talking with athletes, I like to have this joking reference. Guy walks into a bar. Let's say his name's Abby. Good looking rooster. He's ripped because he does jiu-jitsu all the time, and he walks in and he's pretty confident, sees a girl he likes, and he walks over and he approaches her, and she just brushes him off, gives him nothing, donuts, and he walks away dejected. And then Abby's twin walks in, same looking guy, same approach, same voice, same everything, walks over to the same girl. She rejects him, and it doesn't touch him. He's like, whatever, her loss, blah, blah, blah. There's plenty of other women in the room, right? And the difference there is their explanatory style is the base of this. Is that my fault or someone else's? The second Abby says that's her fault, not my fault. Is that permanent or is it going to change? He looks at it as, well, there's 100 other people here to talk to, so it's not permanent. And does that affect other things, or is it just this situation? And Abby says, well, it's not going to affect whether I get a job. It's not going to affect how good I look for my filming tomorrow. Whereas the first one is like, oh my God, that means I won't get employed. I'll have all these problems. So there's a dramatization of it, right? Now, these are not black and white contrasts. All of us fall somewhere on the spectrum of these things. But if you understand that, then you understand your interpretation of ambiguous events can sometimes be over-indexing on, oh my God, the world's going to fall, versus, this is temporary, it might change, it might be okay, I have a power to change it. And once you understand that, your ability to move these, or at least question some of your initial assumptions while you're waiting, is potentially going to be helpful. The key part in all of it is to understand that because you don't have perfect information, your assumptions are not going to be 100% correct. There is a chance that they haven't called you back because their HR department's a mess and they're firing. And this has happened to me on a couple of occasions. While I was getting hired for the Philadelphia 76ers, they just stopped talking to me for a month or two. And I'm like, well, that's fine. I'm working in MLB at the time with the Toronto Blue Jays, so I wasn't desperate for it, but I was really interested. I love NBA. And it turns out that then a week or two later, an article lands in the Ringer about the current GM, Mr. Colangelo, having his own Twitter burner account where he was pretending he was someone else, supporting himself, and it was just a mess. So their internal machinations while that was happening, they were busy. They didn't, whether I got the job or not was not a question. They were just kind of busy putting out some fires internally, right? So my assumptions at the time was, I'm out, I'll move on. But actually, it's just I didn't have all the information, right? And that's one example of the broader lesson being that you don't always know what's happening on the other side of the curtain. And your best thing to do is continue on with your life as best as possible and give it an optimistic interpretation. Or at least allow for that, because you never know. If you close the door and you say, damn it, I'm not even going to answer their emails, I'm moving on forever, then what if they email you 2 weeks later and they're like, oh, sorry about the delay, we just had to fire our GM, but you still want the job? You're leaving the door open for more opportunities by not closing it with pessimism.